Is your anger trying to tell you something? Ever felt that rush of anger that makes your heart race and your mind spin? It's tempting to think of anger as bad, but what if I told you it's actually one of your greatest guides? Stick around because today we're diving into how your emotions, we're going to focus on anger, are a tap on the shoulder saying, hey, something's up, and you can decide what you're going to do with it. In this video, we're exploring how anger in particular can help you identify what's out of alignment in your life and empower you to take action. Let's turn that fire into fuel. When you feel anger, it's a tap on the shoulder. Your mind and your body saying something feels off or something feels really off. Let's explore that. Instead of suppressing it or exploding, what if you paused and asked, what is this really about? You've heard count to 10 when you're feeling really angry, especially before you act or react to anything. Well, if you're really, really angry, you may need to count much longer than that. If you get a nasty, rude email or a text from your child's other parent, before you respond, imagine that your child will see your response, which is a good possibility. Now give yourself time to think about how you can respond without letting your emotions take the lead. This is not easy, of course, but it will improve your relationship with your kids, their other parent, and it will make you feel happier in the long run. Your anger isn't your enemy. Think of it as a messenger. Maybe it's highlighting a boundary that's been crossed or a value that's been ignored. Or maybe it's justified and you should be feeling angry. It's not about the person or the event. It's about what matters to you. How do you want to show up in your life? Who are you being? And who do you want to become? For example, imagine you're angry about being overlooked at work. That anger might actually be pointing to your value of respect or recognition. It's a signal that something needs attention, not just a random emotion that you should dismiss. Anger doesn't come out of nowhere. Pause and ask, what's triggered this? Is it a situation, a person, or maybe something deeper, like an old wound or an unmet need? Naming the source is like turning a light on in a dark room. It helps you to see clearly, and then you can decide what you are going to do. During a tough divorce or any tough situation, you can decide. You can decide what you're going to do. You can decide how you're going to react. One of my clients discovered her anger wasn't just about actions. It was tied to a deep-seated fear of being abandoned. Her dad left when she was a little girl, and she saw her mom struggle. She heard her mom complain every day, and she really didn't want that for her children. Once she recognized that, her anger became a guide, a signal, a whisper that she could listen to, where she could pause and then decide what she was going to do next. Ask yourself, what is my anger trying to tell me? Is it showing me that I'm feeling disrespected, unheard, trapped, sad, tired? Anger is a messenger, not a villain. Once you uncover the message, which is the emotion, you're in control, not the anger. With tools and strategies, you can learn how to control your emotions so that they do not control you. I worked with a father who felt enraged every time the mother of his children was even mentioned. After some reflection, he realized his anger was rooted in feeling powerless in his life decisions. He feared he would not be a part of his kids' lives and wouldn't be able to continue growing the bond with them that he really wanted. Well, that realization was a turning point for him. His anger became a signal that he needed to take charge of his life. The time that he did have with his children became a priority. He treasured every moment. And the new relationship that he was creating with their mom became important to him as well. Now, here's where the magic happens. Instead of suppressing your anger or reacting like an explosive, crazy person, channel that energy constructively. Think of anger like fuel. Left unchecked, it burns you up. But when directed, it becomes the spark that ignites progress. Start by identifying the action your anger is pushing you toward. Is it setting a boundary, having a tough conversation, saying no to something that's draining you? These steps turn anger into empowerment. Here's some practical tools to harness anger. Exercise 1, start an anger journal or an emotions journal. Write down moments when you feel angry. Ask yourself, what triggered it? What value or need does this emotion highlight? What actions can I take? What can I do next that will be productive? Journaling helps uncover patterns and brings clarity into your life. Exercise 2, visualization. Imagine your anger as a guide holding a lantern. Ask it, what are you here to show me? This mental exercise may help you to shift anger from something overwhelming to something illuminating. Exercise 3, come up with a response plan. For recurring triggers, like times when you always seem to get angry, plan your response. If a particular situation always sparks anger and seems to derail you, decide in advance how you'll approach it constructively. Preparation gives you the upper hand. True freedom comes not from being emotionless, but from knowing your emotions and choosing how to act on them. Your anger, when channeled, is a catalyst for personal breakthroughs. One of my clients, who always bottled up her anger until it exploded, she started channeling it productively. She began by writing her thoughts in a letter, not to send, but to process her feelings. This gave her clarity and allowed her to have calm, assertive conversations. She stopped being consumed by anger and started using it to make progress in her life. Anger isn't your enemy, it's your ally. By identifying the trigger, listening to the message, and taking meaningful action, you can transform anger into a tool for growth and empowerment. Have you ever used anger as a guide? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how you turned frustration into freedom. If you're ready to dive deeper, don't miss my video, Is Your Partner Toxic? 5 red flags you're ignoring. It's packed with insights to help you break free from harmful patterns, reclaim your emotional freedom, and keep on learning and growing.